Oh, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Carolina Wrestling Podcast. I am that guy, Trey Morgan, and I'm here with my podcast partners, the Fallen Angel, Dirk Douglas, and Hot Mike Joel Avery. Guys, what's going on with you, man?
What's up?
Oh, man. Well, we're going to get to it more in depth here in a little bit, but, man, our predictions sucked.
Bruh.
we were all off.
I don't think we even know we've even watched wrestling before.
Like, do we even watch wrestling?
No, not one bit. We don't know a damn thing about wrestling. If you look at our predictions here in the next hour or so, it's going to be absolutely abysmal.
But it wasn't all bad. WWE
I was about to say, there were some
in the predictable way. So it's
there were some results that I was like, you know what? I'm not mad about being wrong about that.
Yeah, absolutely right. But first, before we get into the WWE, guys, I want to take a minute and talk about this weekend. Saturday in Burlington, North Carolina, Future X presents Rising Heat. Saturday, August 8th at the Future Factory there in Burlington, North Carolina, guys. If you got time, make sure you want to go check that out. General admission is $10. If you want front row, it is $15 for front row. Kids 2 to 12 is only $5, man. Go check it out. And we got somebody that Joel likes is actually going to be on that card. It's the Next Level Pro Wrestling social media champion and the North Carolina Cruiserweight champion, RJ Epps, is going to be in the building and performing at that show. So anybody there in Burlington,
who
North
else
Carolina,
is going to be there, Trey?
Man,
we got RJ. Who else is there?
Yeah, we got Big Country's going to be there. We got THC is going to be there. Buddy Flowers, DA Smoke, and Little Doobie, they're going to be there.
I'm a huge fan of theirs. Huge fan.
Yeah, the Higher Calling, man. They're a great tag team. So you want to make sure they are the tag. I think they're 6-man tag team champions there with
their merch is great. Oh my God, their merch is great. Some of my favorite merch on the indies.
Yeah, so make sure you go check those guys out. K Killer's also going to be there. He's going to be in action. It's just an absolutely good time. And the air conditioning in the place, man, make sure you go check it out. They got some of the best air conditioning, like I said last time we talked about Future X
and
the
Future fried Oreos, right? Fried Oreos?
Oh, yeah, fried Oreos. It's not just regular chocolate Oreos. They got the vanilla ones and the lemon ones, man.
Hey.
Like, they have a variety of different kinds of fried Oreos.
I might go just for the Oreos.
Bruh, they so good. They so good. And everything's made fresh right there. They're not sitting there waiting. So you order them, they make them for you. So when they hand them to you, they're actually hot and fresh. Yeah. So it's absolutely fantastic time. So if you're in Burlington, North Carolina, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go check them out. Future X presents Rising Heat. It's going to be absolutely fantastic time, and I'm going to be there in person. I am the ring announcer for that show that weekend. So make sure you go check us out. Come check me out if you want to see us. Say hello. Tell us you watched the Carolina Wrestling Podcast, man. Absolutely fantastic. I love talking to the people as well. So we're done with Future X, guys. We need to get into the future. Yeah,
that's the future. Let's talk about the past.
But before we get into WWE, did either one of you guys see Spider-Man this weekend?
No spoilers. Do not spoil it yet. Do not spoil it yet. I've not seen it yet.
Just asking.
No.
Second biggest opening of a movie. All the movies in.
That is all you shall say.
So without giving out a spoiler on a 1 to 10 scale of your opinion on the movie, Dirk, since you've seen it and you watched it premiere night, what do you give it? What's your rating of the movie?
8.7.
8.7.
I've thought about that. 8.7. Nice. It is
from a guy as
very
critical
much
as Dirk.
Spider-Man.
All right.
Like,
that's enough about that. I don't want to be spoiled. But so anyway, let's talk about last Saturday and Sunday wrestling wise.
Man.
So overall, though, Dirk, Trey, how would you guys rate SummerSlam now that we gave our ratings of what we thought it would be?
8.7.
Not 8.7. No.
But I know we were around that ballpark.
I've seen worse pay-per-views.
Yeah. I've seen
much worse pay-per-views.
I think my biggest gripe is everybody suffered from a lack of time. There was
Yeah.
again too many commercials and too many matches that I think were way shorter than what they should have been.
Yeah, so I'll pull up. You talk about here's SummerSlam, just night one of
in a 3-hour show.
Yeah,
in a 3-hour show, we got 85 minutes of wrestling. So less than half of it was dedicated to wrestling. And of that 85 minutes of wrestling, only 21 was given to the women. And night one had 2 of the 3 women's matches of SummerSlam this year, which, again, as the bottom said, that they were praising WWE in that post because it is better than what WrestleMania's average was, which we'll give credit where it's due. Yes, that is better than Mania, but at the same time, you know, I don't want to have less than half my program for a wrestling show and have less than half of it be actually wrestling and more than half of it just end up being commercials and things like that.
Absolutely not. It's what happened to, you know, looking forward to those big pay-per-views and actually getting those blow-offs in a great way, right? You would get everybody at least 20 minutes. You know, at least 20 minutes.
Here's the exact times right here just for night one. And we'll go through the night one matches before we move on to night two. But just looking at the times for the night one matches, every match got what I would call the standard indie time of around 10 to 12, which for a television Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, we were talking about this a little bit before we started recording. That's around what I would expect. But this is a pay-per-view.
Right.
This is one of your big 4 pay-per-views. I feel every match should be at least 15, and that's on the short side. But then the one match, as you can see, that didn't have to stick to that time frame limit was Cody versus Punk, and we'll get to that match when we get to it. But opening match.
I fell asleep during it, so I'm not going to be much fun.
Well, we'll get to that match in a little bit. But opening match: Liv Morgan versus Io Sky for the Women's World Championship.
Oh yeah.
Dirk, you were the only one who predicted this one, right? You called Liv Morgan to retain, and so that's a point for Dirk. You were correct on that one.
Again, they could have used more time.
They absolutely could. This. Because, in my opinion, that match, outside of the finish, which I disagree with, because I still say it should have gone to Io, because Liv's doing other stuff with Judgment Day. That's cool. That's fine. But that means that the title is getting pushed aside and not given the spotlight it needs to be relevant and flourish. So you need to get that title off Liv, but they're keeping it on her. This was her first title defense in 105 days.
I could argue the fact that you could keep it on Liv and just let her wrestle.
Well, yeah, you could. But the problem is, again, they're trying to focus more on Liv's storyline within the Judgment Day, which doesn't lend itself well to a storyline that should be focusing around the World Championship of the women's division, you know? And that was why I was saying, let's get that belt onto Io Sky, a great wrestler who can get in there, who's one of those people who can get in there, have a great match with anybody. And to me, in terms of wrestling, that match stole the show in terms of wrestling. That was a great match. I love that match.
I definitely wanted more.
And even the creative way they did the finish, where Liv goes for the Oblivion, Io handsprings out of it, lands over on the opposite rope, but Liv follows right behind her, catches her with that second Oblivion. If that had been a falsie, oh, dude, you would have had me there, man. Oh, man, that was – oh, man.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And Liv Morgan came out on top, still – keeping her championship, man. Like, I didn't think it was going to happen, but I should have remembered about Raquel and Roxanne Perez. You know, I didn't ever take them into account that when I was sitting here making my prediction, it was like, oh, I just thought they were out, and I don't know why I didn't think about that. And that definitely came into play for her.
You completely forgot Raquel Rodriguez is the new Women's Intercontinental Champion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just won that.
She literally won that title She literally won that title less than a week prior to SummerSlam. But her spotlight on SummerSlam was relegated to her 2-3 minute interference in the Women's World Championship match.
Yeah.
Even though she's currently the workhorse women's champion of Monday Night Raw. And again, they only got 13 minutes, and that's bell to bell. That's not including entrances. That's bell to bell wrestling time, which, like you said, Dirk, those two. And if anything, it further proves my point. It further proves my point that the women of today in WWE can go out there and out wrestle and outwork like 90% of the roster out there, I believe. The only reason that they're not drawing the way that people feel like they should, it's because, one, they're not given the time of day to do so, and they're not being given any really good material and storylines to do anything with. Most of the time, they're being
do anything unless someone lets you.
Yeah. And again, that's a shame because just the brief bit of time that Liv and EO were given, and again, to their credit, they made the most out of every one of those 13 minutes in the ring. And to me, in terms of wrestling, they were the best wrestling match on that show. And again, that just speaks to how good both of them are. And it goes to show how much they could be doing with Liv Morgan right now, or Io Sky, or any other of these women. They just don't.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to get into the next match here. We have the 6-man tag. I think was
it the men's or the women's 6-man?
No, I think it was the men's 6-man. Was it? Was the second matchup?
It was one of the two, but
I believe it was the men was next.
Yeah, I think it was
because they didn't have back-to-back women's matches. So so we'll talk about the 6-man. You got the Uso and Fatu's The Bloodline versus Royce Keys, LA Knight, and Solo Sikoa.
And we were all wrong about this one.
We were.
We all predicted Bloodline, and we were all wrong, but.
I like Solo. I like what they're doing. I like what they're doing.
I really like this new facelift on Solo Sikoa. It's very entertaining, and again, this was one of those matches where I actually wasn't mad about being wrong because this is what I would have preferred to see. Yeah. I think we all just agreed that they're wanting to bring back Bloodline stuff. They want Bloodline on top, so they're just going to put Bloodline up.
The Bloodline push.
Yeah, but the fact that they not only had the other team win, but that LA Knight got the pin, I was like, oh.
And if you read the dirt sheets or listen to the dirt sheets, they say that the plans were to turn Solo back and put him with the Bloodline, but the whole face thing started working, so I guess they're going to run with it. And
he got over the last couple of weeks with the fans, and then he got in the middle of the ring with Jey Uso and had him run.
He stole the run it back. No one has
it yeeted back to him, and it was like, man, like that was so. And he's doing doing crotch chops, and that was perfect. That was like so good.
That was the perfect turnaround to the run it back. I've never seen anyone counter Jey Uso's run it back thing until that.
And Jey Uso looked mad.
The way he sold it.
It was so
the way he sold that was perfect. And that's the thing about selling in wrestling. It's not just the way you sell a move and show that it hurt or where it hurt you. It's also how you react to things. Like when someone says something to you or pulls one of your taunts back in your face, and you have to show that the look of how dare they, the audacity of this person to steal my thing, And Jay sold that perfectly, man. I loved it.
Let's just hope they run with Solo. I think they should run with it. I think it can be very entertaining.
It absolutely could be.
So what are they doing since those three guys won? So like, what do they do? Who goes on to Solo go try to face? Who faces the champ now? Like who goes on trying to do something out of that group?
Well, I feel like because LA Knight's been the one who's been like the most vocal, the most outspoken against the Bloodline, outwardly saying he wants that World Heavyweight Championship, and the fact that he's the one who picked up the pinfall on a former World Heavyweight Champion because he pinned Jey Uso, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, so he pinned a former world heavyweight champion of the bloodline who he's been going back and forth verbally with for months now, or even years technically. So I feel like out of that group, it's probably going to be LA Knight, and I think they're going to have I'm going to call him Powerhouse Hobbs just because I feel like that name is so much better than Royce
That's
Keys.
fun.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to have Hobbs and Fatu potentially go into some sort of storyline just because of they've hinted at their like shared history together. And hey, that's a good big meaty men slapping meat match if I ever saw one, you know, especially because Hobbs has got the most beautiful. Oh my God. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Out of everyone actively wrestling today, I think Powerhouse Hobbs has the prettiest spine buster out of just about anybody wrestling today. I'm going to say it.
He does have a pretty spine buster.
It is a beautiful spine buster. But and then I guess that just kind of leaves. I mean, Solo obviously he's going to go off do his thing, but once again that kind of again no matter what way you spin it, Jimmy Uso just kind of ends up being the odd man left out. I guess.
But the one thing that surprises me is in the bloodline. Usually, if one of those is going to take the loss, it would have been Jimmy.
Yeah.
This time actually Jay took the loss. So they're like, hey, Jay takes the pin. Like, that's different.
Yeah.
I wonder if Jimmy was like, I'm tired of losing, man. Like, let somebody else take the pin this time.
But you also have to wonder, though, because how many times have we seen WWE do this over the past couple of years where they do something for the shock value and it's what people might have wanted, but then they turn around a week later and just undo what they did and give us what we were originally predicting in the first place, you know?
Well, we'll get to Chelsea Green here in a minute.
Well, I wasn't talking specifically about Chelsea, but we will get to that in a minute. That's night 2. Don't jump ahead, Dirk. But yeah. So that was match 2. What was match 3? Was that that was either Aldis and Gunther, or was that the women's tag?
No, I think it was the women's tag match was next. The 6-woman tag team match between Team Total Divas and Fatal Influence. And just for the record,
you 100% were accurate on this. Not only on the finish, but also on the Bella's heel turn. But
you were. And
2 points.
2 points.
You know what?
That's 2 points.
Thank you very much.
2 points.
I appreciate the extra credit because
that's 2.
I called it. I was like, hey,
you called it all.
I see, but I seen them that some reason they were going to turn on her, because if you think when you remember when Nikki Bella got hurt and she was like, oh, I called my friend, and here comes Paige, and then Paige is the one who lost the championships. It was like, oh, there's a absolutely great reason for them to turn on her, and they absolutely did. And I was absolutely right, and so that makes me feel good. I got 2 points for that one there.
Yeah, 2 because you called everything.
It was,
but now the match itself.
Right?
The match itself, yes. 2 things. 1, Brie got hurt. 2, this was a trash match. I'm just going to be honest. This match absolutely sucked.
Oh, man.
And I hate it specifically for Fatal Influence because those 3
those girls are good.
They're
women.
Great.
Those women are good. Those women are really good.
They are fantastic workers. They understand character psychology, wrestling, and all that. And they got stuck with 2 of the 3 women from their opponents who, let's just be real, they got no business being in the ring. The Bellas have no business being in the ring. Because you said it last week, Dirk. You said it last week. They are not professional wrestlers. They're not. I will agree with you on that. And one of them got hurt. And one of them got hurt. Brie, I don't know. I mean, I saw the image earlier because I caught it halfway through the match. I kept seeing Brie, like, she kept grabbing her right shoulder. And that was the immediate giveaway to me that something was wrong. Because American wrestling, we always are told, work the left side. So if someone's grabbing their left arm, you might have, you know, workers will look at that and think, that's the arm that's been worked over. They're just selling it. When you see someone clench that right side, though, you immediately know that's not a work. They are hurt.
I seen her take that cannonball right against the ring steps there, and first thing I was like, ooh, I was like, that looked bad.
Yeah. Because she had that arm up like this.
And she
had it up like this.
And she rolled, and I was like, oh, that's absolutely terrible. I knew something. And then she got in there. Hey, she got in there and tried, and got back in there through a couple forearms, and she got right back out of there. So, man, you got to give it to Brie Bella. At least she got back in there and tried to finish the match. She didn't just walk out and go to the back.
You're right.
Right back.
And
So,
she even
I
through
will give
the
the
stuff at
credit.
the
She went in
end.
there and finished it out.
Even at the
Yeah.
end, she was
Yeah,
holding her
but-
stuff while she was kicking old girl on the ground.
Yeah,
but at the
it
end of
was
the
that-
day,
the
at the
match
end of the
was-
day, the Bellas are not good workers. They are not.
No.
No. Because to me, and this might be a hot take, this might be my hot take, the Bellas were simply riding the coattails of the women's revolution when it kicked off. Because at the end of the day, the Bellas during the Divas era, they were just like what women were back then for wrestling. It was mostly for eye candy because they weren't being given the time to work. And then when the whole women's revolution thing started really popping off, it was really the 4 horsewomen who were revolutionizing wrestling
the
for women
Bellas
at
were
that time.
before them. The Bellas'
Well, I
whole
know.
deal was they dated John Cena and Daniel
Yeah,
Bryan. So
their-
they got
Their contribution to the women's revolution was just them
Was
trying to get
John
the
Cena.
hashtag. No, it was trying to get that hashtag trending. That was what they called them starting off the women's revolution. When the women's revolution in wrestling was kicked off by the 4 horsewomen: Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, and Bayley. Those 4
Yeah.
are what really kickstarted the women's revolution in WWE. And they were immediately followed up by girls like Alexa Bliss, Bianca Belair, Shayna Baszler, all the Kairi Sane, Asuka, all these amazing women who could go out there, outwork most of the guys, had some of the greatest matches, some of the greatest storytelling. They were the ones who revolutionized women's wrestling, not the Bellas. The Bellas just tried to take credit for it and ride the coattails, and that always kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little bit because I'm like, you're out here trying to take credit for what these other women did who busted their asses and really made women's wrestling in America mean something the way it does in places like over in New Japan or Mexico.
I think Paige was a great worker in her time. Paige
She
was really
She
good.
was. You notice I haven't mentioned her in lumping her with the Bellas
But
because
she
she
got
kind of
hurt.
falls in.
And she probably shouldn't be in the ring. I know she got cleared, but I know
Mostly
her
for
neck's
safety.
bad.
And she had a neck injury.
Yeah,
It was
no,
a
that's
neck
what I'm
injury.
saying.
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
a neck
yeah.
thing.
I don't
yeah.
even think it's the first one. Didn't she leave WWE or was out WWE
Yeah,
with
she
a
got-
neck injury for a
so-
while, and then
So
she
she
was
got
in AEW and had neck injury as well. I
No,
believe,
so
if I'm not
hold up. So what it was, her original injury sidelined her and left her unable to wrestle ever again in WWE. This was even before AEW came along. She came back as the SmackDown GM, but then she got cleared while she was in WWE, started wrestling again. She got injured again on a house show, had to medically retire again. WWE's doctors wouldn't clear, but AEW's did. So she went to AEW, wrestled there for a little while. I don't think she got injured and had to medically retire, if I'm not mistaken. But she ended up just like finishing out her AEW run and then went back to WWE this most recent turnaround.
But it's different. I don't think it's the same doctors now as it was because now it's TKO and not WWE, right? Like, so it's probably a whole different. Not
Maybe.
saying
I
they
don't-
would
I don't
ever
know.
cheat, but I don't know.
it's not, we don't know if it's Dr. Andrews out of Birmingham that's done
Right.
everybody's stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, so overall, the 6 women tag match, definitely the lowest point on night 1. I think we can all agree.
Yeah.
That match
Yeah,
got
and
8
they-
minutes.
Yeah, and again, this is a match that honestly, if they had either subbed in a different 3-woman team to fight Fatal Influence, they could have had a really good 6-woman tag there.
Yeah.
Or if they had
Yeah.
simply gotten another good women's tag team and had a women's tag title match,
They got to run
that
it.
would have been another
For that,
possibility.
as long as it didn't involve the Bella twins.
Baby, hey, Bubby.
And my dog here with the run in.
As long
What's
as
up,
the
bud?
Bella twins weren't there, I would have been cool with it.
Yeah.
But
Anyway, that's that match. It's at this point, it's water under the bridge. We're moving on. Match number
you should
4.
tell the twins they need to use twin magic. I'm just saying, if you're gonna steal anything from the Bella twins, they're the only people that can steal it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. The Diaz twins with twin
Yeah.
magic. All he's got to do is take the men's shirt off.
Well, anyway, match 4. Gunther and Nick Aldis.
I love
To me,
this match.
this
20 more
match.
minutes.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know if Nick could have gone
no,
that much longer.
Nick was. You could tell Nick was tired at the end.
Yeah.
Ring rust is real, but for 3 years of
you
ring
couldn't tell.
rust,
look great.
for 3 years of ring rust, he got back in there like he hadn't hardly lost a step. But yeah, I think this is the first one. Trey, you and I got this one right. Dirk, you were calling for it to be Nick Aldis, right?
I did. Coming out to Oasis. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh
But,
man.
yeah, so this is my first point, by the way. It took this long for me to get a prediction right on night 1. It had to be Gunther and Nick Aldis. But honestly, the match itself is a perfect example, and I hope a lot of independent local talent, whether they're here in the Carolinas or anywhere around, the world watching, that match right there should tell you don't need to do a lot to have a good match and to get over, to tell a story, and to be entertaining. Because realistically, what was the biggest move that Aldis and Gunther did? What was the biggest move they did? A superplex?
Yeah.
A superplex, a power bomb, maybe the running power slam. That was like the biggest of moves that they did. But they had the crowd from beginning to end.
Everything was believable.
It was all believable. They told a clear, cohesive story from start to finish. It was entertaining. And again, it's another example of you don't have to go over to get over. Nick Aldis put Gunther over.
Standing ovation.
But he got the standing ovation at the end. And everyone chanting, "You still got it," and giving Nick Aldis his well-deserved flowers after his first match in WWE. And
WWE not bringing him in as a wrestler. Like him being at the top of NWA, TNA. He is younger than Seth Rollins.
Yeah, he's only 39.
Like he's still young. He can still do this, but WWE never saw him as the guy. So he can talk, so we're going to put him on TV, but we're not. I don't see why they're not using someone that good.
Speaking of that, I don't know if you saw this backstage segment, but after the show, when Nick was getting interviewed backstage,
I was going to bring this up. Yeah, I was going to bring this up.
He got ready to hand in his letter of resignation to Triple H because he stated that he was supposed to remain unbiased as a general manager. He failed to do so. He let Gunther get in his head, and so because I don't feel like I'm being unbiased GM, here's my letter of resignation. And then Triple H tears it up and just reinstates him as SmackDown GM. So it's like, in a way, you kind of just undid all the story that.
We'll talk more about it later, but we got in the thing. I don't think Obafemi's ready. I don't think he's got it. But Nick Aldis, oh my God, you put Nick Aldis in the ring right now with Roman Reigns, and I'd pay money to see it.
It would definitely be good because I thought this was leading into Nick Aldis stepping away as GM and becoming a full-time wrestling member of the roster. I thought that's what this was all leading to, but then literally by the end of the night, they just undid all of that and just said, "Yeah, we're back to square one. Yeah, you're GM again."
But Triple H in his little interview at the end, he's like, "Hey, never say never. Never say it won't happen again." So the door's open for something to happen. But it would, for me to see Nick Aldis coming back, it would have to be something big. Because maybe all he wanted was one match. Hey, just let me have one match in WWE and I'll be happy. And maybe that's what he wanted. He got what he wanted.
Well, he's getting paid to not bump, so he is.
To be fair, that is true. But yeah, overall, great match. I thought it was great. It's a perfect class act and showing. You don't have to do a lot. You ain't got to go over to get over. Great match, great story. I feel like you can't say much more about that.
Yeah,
but so now that brings us
to the next match. What do we got? We're going to talk about the WWE Championship match.
Trash.
Joel's favorite match of the night.
Trash match.
I'm gonna
This
let Joel
was
go
ass.
with it because I fell asleep and I slept through the entire match.
This
Like,
match
finished
was terrible. Call it a hot take. Call it what you want. No sell Punk went the whole okay. The basic storyline of the match is that Cody worked over Punk's leg early on in the match. And you saw the time. They're the only match on night one who got 30 minutes. They got 30 minutes in the ring. And early on in the match, Cody's working Punk's leg, right? Naturally, that means, okay, your leg's been worked. You can't run now, okay? If you pick somebody up, you need to sell that your base, your leg that you use to pick someone up with is now hurt. I swear Cody got picked up by Punk for the GTS, whether he hit it or not, at least 7 times. Not counting other moves, like I think Punk even hit like a body slam and a couple of other moves that involved picking Cody up. And not once did he sell his leg. And I'm like, bro, you are just completely invalidating all of the offense that Cody has put on your leg. And then, of course, the two of the pièce de résistances of this trash heap of a match. At one point, Punk decides, I'm going to do a moonsault. That was the ugliest moonsault I've ever seen in my life.
CM stands for crooked moonsault, right? Crooked moonsault.
That wasn't even a crooked moonsault. I don't even know if I want to call it a moonsault. It was more like a moon flop.
It was beautiful.
And then you want to follow that up by continuing to just not sell your leg. You have Cody out on the announce table. Punk climbs his way up to the top rope, jumps off, and acts like he's going to hit his diving elbow through the table. Cody rolls out the way, and you land squarely on the leg that has been injured this entire time. And you barely acknowledge it. Not to mention all the times you actually did hit the GTS on Cody and like would just barely remember to maybe vaguely grasp at your knee that you just hit Cody in the head with. It's the same one that he just had you locked in the figure 4 with for 3 minutes straight.
I'm not a fan of face versus face.
Cool down, Joe.
Right, like
hey, I got on my soapbox again. Okay, we're gonna have segments from here on out. It's soapbox time with Hot Mike. Soapbox time with Hot Mike. Okay, this is the one for night one because by God, this was terrible. And that's another thing you bring up there, Dirk. I'm glad you brought that up. Face versus face. Yes, that is statistically one of the harder match types to pull off. However,
so boring.
What did we say?
Boring.
What did we say needed to happen to fix that, huh? And what have we been saying it's time to do?
One of them needed to turn.
Cody Rhodes heel turn. Yeah. How many times do we have to say it? Homelander Cody Rhodes. It's right there.
Saying Homelander.
Because he looks like Homelander. Everyone keeps comparing him to Homelander.
He looks like Homelander. Yeah.
He looks like Homelander. That's why and everyone keeps comparing him to Homelander, and that's who he'd be as a heel.
You do it on a thing where how nice Cody's been this whole time. He could have been Homelander this whole time because in the beginning to the public, Homelander was all super nice and super over. Like it totally worked. Oh man!
But the only pop this match got at any point was when Randy Orton came out, RKO'd Cody, and cost Cody the win.
I can't disagree with you. It was the shits.
Yeah, it was the shits. It really was the shits.
Are you done? Are you done?
Yeah, I'm good for now. That's what a point for all three of us because we all picked CM Punk anyway.
Yeah.
Well, a point for all of us, and I've got the totals over here. So
you're still in the lead.
We're gonna be surprised. We're gonna be surprised here at the end.
All right, one more match for night one.
We're going to the main event of the evening. We had the Hell in a Cell. This is Dirk's favorite match. He thought this match was absolutely fantastic. chef's kiss to
Well, it was. No,
professional
I'll tell you
wrestling.
what. It was better than the match before it.
This is the one me and Dirk are going to clash on.
It was
This is the one me and Dirk are going to clash on.
Way when
We got-
you know.
Hell in a Cell, baby.
It could have been better for what it was. It was a okay match. I don't think it was main event of SummerSlam worthy. I don't. So I don't think Oba's ready. But again, I can't go and say too many bad things about this match, considering the match we had just saw before this one.
And again, it was
like the only thing I hate was the finish because Brock set it up so he could take the boards, he could take the power bomb on the boards, and Oba didn't complete put the nail in the coffin, so to speak.
And it's not a bad thing saying Oba's not ready. He shouldn't be.
Maybe
He's
he
only
wanted,
been on the
maybe he
main
wanted
roster.
to be. Well,
less
maybe
than a
he
year.
wanted to protect Brock. He was like, I don't want to slam him on the boards and hurt him, because he kind of maybe respects him a little bit and didn't want to slam him.
You can hit
So
Brock
it's like,
with a truck and not hurt that.
but at the end of the day, if that's your biggest problem with this match, at the end of the day, though, if that's your biggest critique and problem with this match,
it was still miles better than what we had.
It was definitely miles better than the semi-main, and also, again, I'm not gonna say Oba needs to be world champion right this second, but because he's a unique kind of signing for WWE. Oba is coachable. The difference
Trick
is
Williams is
because Oba is not coming from the independents and already has a whole bunch of different things and ideas thrown into his head and all that. He's coming in malleable, like a fresh mold of hot clay that can be molded however WWE needs him to be, and he acts like a sponge and just absorbs everything, takes it all in. That if you spend another, because we're in August now, you spend another 5 months helping him get more and more ready. By the time the Rumble comes around, he's the perfect pick to win the Rumble. That's another 3 months for him to work, and probably, because they've already teased it, go into a program with Roman Reigns. And by the time WrestleMania comes around, he's a lot more likely to be ready to go and to be ready to be presented that moment of winning a world championship and beating a guy like Roman Reigns for it.
I'll use Roman as my example because the first 8 WrestleManias Roman Reigns was on, he wasn't ready. He was there because either he was someone's family, the way he looked. Vince McMahon really liked the way he looked, really liked Roman Reigns. But he wasn't ready. He shouldn't have been in that spot. And Oba's going to suffer from the same thing. He's not ready. He's not ready for that spot. The fans are going to turn on him once they realize that he ain't ready. And it's going to be a bigger detriment to his career than it is a positive, especially when we got other Trick Williams, man. Trick Williams is fantastic.
Again, though, there's a difference.
Look like a monster, right?
There is a difference between Roman Reigns coming up in the way he did versus the way Oba's coming up. Roman came up in a time where Vince wanted him to be this, but it wasn't natural. And it didn't, you could tell it wasn't real for Roman. And because it wasn't real for Roman, he couldn't portray it convincingly. Oba, on the other hand, is not being told specifically to do this, and this. He is told.
That's what's real?
Here's the difference.
That's the thing, right?
Here's the difference. When Roman Reigns was going out there saying "suffering succotash" and out here when he was originally doing the cock and loaded and the Samoan war chant before the spear, he wasn't getting reactions with it. He was getting booed with it. What is the crowd doing when Oba does this? They're doing it with him. They're chanting his name. That's a completely different reaction than what Roman got. And if you think the fans can't spot when someone's not ready or being forced down your throats in an unorganic way, then you're insulting the fans' intelligence. Because as you said, with Roman, they caught it immediately and they rejected it. With Oba, it is natural. You can tell he is flowing naturally into this. And it's not just him being told. He's not being told to be. he's not being told to be a cookie cutter wrestler to be this specific way. He's being given a format. He's being given a format and being like, hey, this is the format we need you to fill out. Fill it in with your own stuff, though. Make it your own. Roman was being told, he was given a specific list of things that that management wanted him to do. Oba's not being given this strict line of regiment stuff that he has to do this way and this time and yada, yada, yada. He's being given just the format.
They're not going to give him a big thing. And not saying that, that's a bad thing. Once give him another 5 years, right? Give him another 2 years and let him, be in America a while, and actually give him the chance to learn. You're not doing him any favors until you give him sticking with somebody that works big, sticking with somebody for 2 years. You
watched him in NXT, right?
Matches with.
You watched him in NXT.
Unfortunately, right? I did.
He did great stuff down in NXT. His triple threat with what was it, Javon and what was it, Trick Williams? That triple threat match, amazing. Among many other matches, he was over. He's over from start to finish in his time in NXT. And he's been over ever since he got up to the main roster.
It's good, that he can listen. I imagine anyone could have a good match with those guys, right? Because they're good at what they do. But he's green and he's just not ready for the main event. I didn't say he wasn't ready to be there, but he's not ready for the main event.
So let me ask you to say that at the very end, Brock Lesnar came back and Oba was leaving the ring and Brock Lesnar called him back in, shook his hand.
He had the deer in the headlights.
Maybe he wasn't expecting Brock Lesnar to call him back in the ring or anything like that.
I was about to say, you got to remember.
He was like, I'm the past, he's the future. Brock gave him that rub right there in front of everybody.
And plus, you got to remember, this is Brock Lesnar doing that.
He's just.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, though, Derek. You got to remember. You say that, he got that deer in headlights look when Brock did that. Who has Brock ever done that for? He's never done that with anybody. Anybody else would have been caught off guard if they were out there with Brock and he suddenly broke character in that way. Because Brock has hardly never broke character in the ring, let alone to that extent. And to give the rub to someone the way he did, that'd catch anybody off guard. I don't see that as a valid way to throw at Oba to say he's not ready, because I feel anyone would have been caught off guard in that moment with Brock doing something like that to them. But anyway, that's night one. That's only half of SummerSlam. We got a whole nother night, and to me, night two was so much
better. What's your rating on night one?
Night one, oh God, I rate that a 4 out of 10. That's a 4 out of 10 for me.
I give it a.
Man, I don't want to give it a 5.
I got to give it a 5. I can give it a 5.
I'm gonna give it a 4.
That 6-woman tag and that undisputed championship match really weighed it down. Those two hurt it, and just the overall match times of all the matches.
That was one of the most boring wrestling matches I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, all the other matches that were good being cut short, and then the one match that went long being a really bad match.
Yeah,
that all combined just really hurt the overall performance. I feel like, honestly, if SummerSlam had opened with the Oba and Brock and then closed with the women's world title, that alone probably would have helped the flow of the show, I think.
You would have still had to get rid of that fucking world title.
Maybe. I could have seen Nick Aldis and Gunther go to the main event.
Yes, yeah,
maybe give him an extra 5-10 minutes.
That would go in the main event.
Give him an extra 5-10 minutes. Match. Oh yeah.
You could have saved the show just taking 10 minutes away from Punk. and Cody and giving that 10 minutes to them.
Oh,
and
hands down.
letting them work a little bit
Yeah.
more. They could have slowed down and worked the crowd and worked it. And,
Yeah, it would have made the overall show better.
But that was night one. Let's move on to night.
Wait. Before we night one, hold on, Joel. Don't rush. But remember what we talked about last week with ticket sales?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
30,000 tickets, somewhere around 30,000 tickets, I think was the number that Dirk said. And I just looked it up here. Night one ticket sales, roughly 37,478 was distributed for night one.
I bet you
And
they
you
gave
know,
a lot
Trey,
of tickets away for free.
You know, Trey, because you and I were at a cookout to watch night one of WrestleMania together. And one of the guys at that cookout told us, I remember he told us that he had some friends that were in Minneapolis that were at SummerSlam. They were given.
They were not there for SummerSlam. They were just
they weren't there for SummerSlam. They were at SummerSlam because they ran into someone in town that gave them free tickets.
Yeah,
just to show up.
They just got handed free tickets, and they were just like, "Well, I guess we'll go check this out." You know, so WWE was literally giving the tickets away for free.
Yeah.
And I think I even saw a picture. I saw a picture on social media.
I don't know if it was 7,000 tickets, but by the time from the time we recorded on Tuesday to Saturday night, 7,000 more tickets are given out.
Yep, and not all of them bought. And then on top of that, I saw a picture floating around. I think it was during night two, during the Corbin and Trick Williams match. There was a camera angle that they accidentally went too far because they were probably told not to go that far. The entire hard cam side completely empty.
I bet they moved everybody and pushed them over.
Yeah, they moved them all over to where they'd all be behind hard cam side.
Yeah.
So that way it looks better on camera and it doesn't look like there's a half empty arena. Because we called it. The arena was half empty for both nights because that arena holds 70,000 people. Each night only had 30,000 something people. That's literally half that arena's capacity.
Yeah. All right. So we rolling into night two. And since we're talking about tickets, let's continue talking about the ticket sales.
What was the night two numbers, Trey?
As we're rolling into night two. So when we talked about it last week, if I'm not mistaken, off top, I think Dirk said somewhere around 29,000 tickets. It was less than 30, 29,000, I believe it was. Roughly distributed for night two, 32,226.
Ooh,
and night two was better than night one.
I was about to say, that's a shame for those people who preferred night one to night two to go to because night two had a much better showing.
It did, yeah.
32,226. So it was like 5,252 people less from night one to night two.
Wow.
And again, how many of those tickets were freely given?
Yeah.
How many of those tickets were freely given?
Maybe that's the night one tickets that they gave out and didn't give out for night two. 5,000 tickets. That's I could see them saying, hey, they gave out 5,000 tickets for night one to make it look a little bit better. And they didn't have time to throw out tickets for night two.
Yeah.
They should have gave them package deals, said, hey, I got tickets for 2 nights.
Yeah.
Show up and
who's to say they didn't do that though? Who's to say they didn't do that?
And people was like, yeah, night one sucked, so we're not going to night two.
Yeah.
But as we've already alluded to, night two was a much better night. So why don't we kick things off? The opening match for night two. That was the this match surprised us. We were completely wrong on every front with this match. But you know what? I'm not mad about it.
I'm calling this one for us a no contest.
Yeah, but then again, I don't think any of us predicted that the Finn Balor versus Sami Zayn #1 contendership for the Undisputed Championship match would get turned into a fatal four-way.
Not only that, Nick Aldis came out after the first two guys as the general manager and said, hey, we're going to add a third man. And it's the man that he faced on night one. He put Gunther in that match.
As he said to make things right, as he said. But also shout out to Gunther, dude. Dude pulled double duty on SummerSlam.
But night two for him was easier than night one.
Yeah, but now the real talking point of this match was the fourth person that returned was Kevin Owens, much to the shock and awe and adulation from the fans there that night. Completely popped me. Kevin
This
Owens
is my Sami
returned.
Zayn impression.
Oh, yes. Again, that just right there goes to show someone's reaction and selling not just to a move, but also to something else happening helps to add and sell to a moment. Sammy's reaction when
Their
Kevin
embrace,
Owens.
and
Yeah,
going straight into.
Yeah.
Hey, I love you, dog. No, let's punch each other in the face.
But yeah, and again, that match was exactly what Night 2 needed to open up with a chaotic fatal four-way, just trading maneuvers back and forth, counter for counter for counter. KO hadn't lost a step in 17 months, came back like he never left, and ends up winning the match.
I didn't see KO winning. Once they put Gunther in the match, I was like, all right, I can see I see Gunther winning the match. And then they put KO in, and I was like, all right, I can see him getting back in there and just knocking the rust off. I didn't see KO winning. I thought it would be Gunther.
I feel bad for Finn.
Yeah, because we were all predicting Finn Balor.
But look at Sami Zayn. Like, what does it do for him? Like, he's just had another person.
There is a conspiracy
back.
against him.
They got another person that comes back, jumps into the line. You got Kevin Owens now is the number one contender for a title that Sami Zayn just lost last month that held for 9 days. So now he still doesn't get his rematch. So, he's going to be in a pissy mood. So does this change Sami Zayn from being the last real good guy? Or is he going to support Kevin Owens and help Kevin Owens and capture the title again? So you can have Sami
here's the thing, though.
Kevin?
Here's the thing, though. They're trying to book this as Sammy being the heel. The problem is I can't be mad at Sammy and boo him because it is unfair in kayfabe what's happening here. He loses a title to a guy who was gone for 3 months, had lost his world title at Mania, had done nothing to earn his way back to a title match, and then gets told, yeah, this is the guy you're going to wrestle, not even on your own show, and he has to wrestle this guy, and he ends up losing the title. Then he gets told, oh, you're not going to get a rematch as the former champion. No. But what we'll do is we'll throw you into a tag match, even though this guy over here just walked up to the champ and said, say win, and he got a title match. No, if you want to be in the title match, you have to win a tag team match alongside one of your old-time enemies, and you have to beat the current champion and challenger, and you'll be added to the match at SummerSlam then. But lo and behold, Nick Aldis interferes just to screw over Gunther, but ends up costing Sammy in the process. So now Sammy loses his title not because he got out-wrestled or outdone by his opponents. It's because management and someone else interfered and screwed him.
And then he gets told. If I didn't want a Nick Aldis Sami Zayn match now. Oh, man, that would be... Oh,
it would be good. But wait, there's more. Because then after you get screwed over by management again, you get told, okay, how about this? You'll be in a number one contenders match at SummerSlam one-on-one with Finn Balor. Okay, you spend the next however many weeks prepping and preparing for this match against Finn Balor. You know you're facing Finn Balor one-on-one in a head-to-head match. Right before the bell rings, after you're already out there in gear in front of the crowd, ready to go, the general manager, who just got his ass kicked 24 hours ago, walks out there and says, I'm going to make things right today, resorting as a general manager, and I am turning this match into a fatal four-way. And he adds Gunther in, so now you got to worry about Gunther, and then a guy who's been gone for 17 months after Cody put him through a ladder and nearly broke his neck. He comes back, and now this one-on-one match that you have now spent the last 3+ weeks preparing for, out of nowhere gets turned into a fatal four-way.
I think it would have been
How
just a
am I
better
supposed to not side with Sammy in that? How is Sammy the bad guy?
On positive notes, I'm interested in Kevin Owens versus CM Punk. They got real life heat there.
Oh, there's some heat there.
They got real life heat?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so
You hadn't heard about that?
The story is Punk's a very old school guy. Punk was always one of those guys like the vets are that you typically know. Well, Kevin Owens wrestled in a T-shirt, and Punk was like, "Nah, man, if you're going to wrestle in Ring of Honor, you're going to wear a singlet. You can't go out there wearing a T-shirt." Owens goes out, wrestles in the singlet. He comes back to the locker room and said, "Are you happy now that I, wrestled in the singlet?" And it really pissed Punk off. Punk said it was disrespectful, blah, blah, blah. So,
But you know what, though?
Kevin Owens' whole run, he's been wearing a T-shirt.
But you know what? That's yet another thing you can throw at CM Punk for being a hypocrite about. Because remember back in the early 2010s when management and Vince was telling the guys he wanted them to dress a little bit more professionally when they were traveling, and Punk was like, "Well, I'm not going to do that. Why should I have to do that?" And Taker tried to pull him aside and talk to him and say, "Hey, look, man, you're the world champion. This is what the boss wants. I'm not happy about it. Nobody's happy about it, but you got to do what the boss is telling you to do." "Well, I don't see John Cena doing it." I'm like, "Okay, you're not John Cena." And at the time, that was a fair statement.
Well, it's a thing I heard a lot when I was coming up, that you can't wrestle in a T-shirt. People would either, try to rip it off of you, give you a bunch of chops. But I agree with Kevin Owens. He looks better in a T-shirt than he does wearing. And I know a lot of guys. I know a lot of people right now with that mentality that should be wrestling in a T-shirt. Even though they're comfortable going out there
of short trunks.
Without. Yes. I've seen these
more
guys.
It's more of a case of, if you're going to be a wrestler, you need to look the part of a wrestler. In much the same way when it comes to the whole situation with, Punk and Taker and Vince wanting them to dress a little more professionally while they're traveling, especially the world champion. If you're going to look like a professional athlete on travel as a world champion, you need to dress and look the part.
I'm sorry. There are people out there that don't look more like a wrestler because they're wearing the trunks. In fact, it's embarrassing the way they look. In the trunks, they're taking even though they're cool with it and the people in the locker room are cool with it, the fans aren't looking at them like they're cool with it. They're like, "Why is this fat dude in underwear?" Right? And they're gonna.
Well, by
Kevin
that same
Owens
token,
looks better wearing the shorts and the shirt.
By that same token, though, haven't guys like Jack Vaughn and other big names in wrestling who try to help coach and train people, isn't one of the biggest things they tell people? You need to get in shape. You need to be in the gym. You need to be eating properly. So it's like, if you're gonna do this, you can't sit here. You can't just sit here and look like, a bum in the Wendy's drive-thru eating 3 Baconators. If you're going to be a professional athlete, look the part of a professional athlete. And that's totally fair, and a reasonable expectation.
I agree you should take it seriously. But if you don't, and, your belly's hanging, if your belly's hanging over your trunks, you shouldn't wear trunks.
But anyway, we got a little off topic there. But so that was match 1. And how long did that match go again? How long was that first match? Oh, dear God.
What was it?
9 minutes.
Oh.
9 minutes. And honestly, looking at the matches overall, time-wise, these guys got even more screwed over than night 1.
They did.
Because I remember what match 2 was. And unfortunately, I was actually unable to see most of this match because I was switching from my mobile to my laptop, and I was trying to get the VPN and everything set up on my laptop. And that goes to show you how short this match was, because the match was starting on my phone right when I was trying to switch over. By the time I got everything hooked up, set up, switched over to my laptop and everything, the match was just ending. So, and that match only went 8 minutes. But you know what? It goes to show
Baron Corbin.
I should have stuck with my gut.
Yep.
Because I was sitting there saying that was the match I was divided on. I was sitting there thinking they might do it. They might put it on Baron, especially the way he's revamped himself. Now might be the time to take it off Trick and let him chase for a little bit again. But I changed my mind and went with you guys on Trick, and it went to Baron. We were all wrong on that one.
Were we all for
Trick Williams? Yeah, we all did.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm not mad about being wrong on this one because, one, Baron absolutely deserves it. 2, this is a great opportunity because, again,
he's been back in WWE like 3 weeks. Does he really
Are you
deserve
seriously going to sit here and say that all the work Baron has done to revamp himself?
I think Baron Corbin, like he thinks Obafemi. Baron Corbin's the shits.
No, we gonna clash heads on that one, Trey. We will be clashing on that. One. We will be. I will defend Baron Corbin relentlessly against the two of you if I must.
Fine.
Baron Corbin is far better than you two or anyone else give him credit for. I stood by him in his first run. He's gotten even better during his time in MLW, and he's way better now than he was before, and I still stand with Baron Corbin now. Baron Corbin is not the drizzling shit
stuff. Yeah,
I'm telling you, Baron Corbin is way better and he is a very underappreciated talent in wrestling. Because if you look back, looking back at his first run, his first run, it didn't matter what he was given by the office.
The only thing I remember about his first run, he was broke being a bum after he lost his fake.
I remember that. Okay, now that you say that, I remember that.
Money that he is supposed to. He stole Trevor Lee's damn gimmick after he got gone. That he had all this money, then he lost and he was a bum. That's the only thing I remember about his first run.
Maybe I'm gonna go with Joel now because that was funny.
No, because again, look, and I'm going to run through you with everything Baron Corbin did in his first run. And it didn't matter what he was given. He made it work for what he was given and what he was told to do. And that's the mark of a really good wrestler. It doesn't matter what you give them, they can make it work. And Baron did that. He started out with that with his lone wolf biker gimmick. Came to the main roster with that.
Yep.
Started to get a little stale, so it kind of morphed into Constable Corbin, and he became the authority figure of Monday Night Raw.
Yeah,
and he became the general manager of Monday Night Raw, and he was the perfect antagonist for the baby faces of the Red brand. He was the perfect antagonist for all of them.
I'm going to grab a water. I can still hear you, though, Joe.
Yeah.
I can still hear you.
And then, obviously, like you said, after that, he was broke. Pandemic hit. He lost his job, lost his money. He ran that as a gimmick until he hit the lottery in Vegas one time. Then he turned it into Happy Corbin. And it worked.
I remember it was stupid.
No, it was entertaining. It was entertaining, and people engaged with it every time. Then he unfortunately did end up.
Simple minds.
He got let go during the pandemic as part of a big cut of wrestlers during that time. Went to MLW. He was not the. He is a damn good worker, Trey Morgan. I will not have you slandering Baron Corbin's name. I will defend this man. And he has had plenty of great matches to prove he's not only good with character work, he's also good in the ring. Prime example, one of his best matches was him and The Miz at Survivor Series in, 2018? Yeah, I think it was 2018. Him and The Miz in the U.S. Championship Series. Raw versus SmackDown. Had a great match there. His match with Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania as Happy Corbin. Great match. He was so good and trusted in the ring, he was trusted to be handed Kurt Angle's retirement match.
Okay. Yeah. What is it with? I do remember
Kurt Angle couldn't even work. Kurt Angle couldn't move for his retirement match. That match was terrible.
It was terrible.
Notice how you say it's because Kurt Angle couldn't move. That's why they gave him Baron Corbin, because Baron Corbin could get in there with what limited mobility and moveset. He could get in there with the limited mobility and moveset that Kurt had to work with his limited physicality, and made a match work.
It didn't work. It was the shit.
Okay, so what has he done in the 4 weeks that he's been back in WWE that makes him deserve having a United States Championship already?
Well, already.
Don't say it's his MLW stuff, because they don't even mention that he was being in MLW. So you can't mention that. Nobody in WWE gives a shit about his MLW run. So what's he done in WWE that makes him deserve the United States Championship?
Are you listening to any of his promos? Because they're specifically, they might not say the name
ML.
Oh my God. Are you going to let me talk? You can't ask me a question. I start to give you the answer, and then you talk over me 2 seconds later, Trey. You got to let me answer the question. They don't say MLW outright, but they have alluded in all of his promos to the fact he went away, went to other companies, trained, and got even better to come back better than he ever was. And again, they're playing it off of he's the returning vet against the up-and-coming rising rookie, and how he was able to get under the rookie skin and trick the rookie to giving him exactly what he wanted. A U.S. title match on his terms when he wanted. Trick the hotshot rookie, just eager for the fight and trying to get his get back, fell right into the vet's trap, gave Baron Corbin exactly what he wanted, which was a title match on his terms, not the champ's terms. And the story, again, playing it to his advantage, Baron walks out the champion with it. And now you've got an underdog babyface, and who's hot in Trick Williams, who's chasing the big bad wolf to get his prize back, to get his title back. And I fully believe that that's how the feud's going to end. It's going to end with Trick getting the title back. But now you've got his end. He needed an antagonist. He needed the villain for his story, because up until Baron Corbin came along, who was his arch nemesis? Trick didn't have a nemesis. Every good hero needs a villain, and Baron Corbin fit that mold perfectly to be this villain.
I just still don't think he deserves.
I'm going to agree with Trey here.
He doesn't deserve it in the first month that he's been back. That's like, I don't agree that Paige deserved to win the tag team championships her first night back into the company. No, no. I mean, it happened, but I don't think that was the right call. But I mean, I do agree with some of what you said. I do agree that the babyface should be chasing the heel for the title. I do agree with that, because that does make an absolutely fantastic story with the chase. But I just don't think that Baron Corbin should have won that match. Man, he could have won by disqualification. I would have been fine with that. I would have been totally fine with the count out, DQ, something like that. But I just don't think he should have got the championship.
Well, at the end of the day, again, I still say he is the perfect antagonist for Trick to chase right now, because, like you said, he didn't have a villain. But also, I remember a couple weeks ago, y'all were saying, oh, it's better for CM Punk to be champ right now than Sami Zayn. Oh, because people think Sammy's not as big of a draw as Punk. Well, Punk did the exact same thing, but you just said you didn't agree with Paige coming back and immediately winning the title, right, or anyone else. But y'all said, oh, y'all were fine with Punk doing it.
Well, Punk was only gone for like 2-3 months.
He was gone for over 3 months after he lost a championship match.
That's
he was
3
in
months.
Kayfabe wise.
Baron Corbin been gone.
Kayfabe wise,
Paige gone.
Almost 3 years.
You know what the difference is between Paige and? You know what? Here's another big difference between Paige and Punk coming back. The second they come back, they're in a title match and just facing the champ. Versus what did Corbin do? He didn't just walk right in, get a title match the second he stepped out from behind the curtain and take the title. No, he showed up, dropped the champ, put the champ on notice. Champ wanted his get back. And Baron said, well, I'm not going to face you in a match. If you want to face me in a match, it's got to be on my terms for that U.S. title, because I'm coming for that title. That's the difference. There was a story set up, and there was a story that made sense. The hotshot young babyface who wants his get back on the guy who's been talking crap about him and put him on his ass a couple of times. He wants to get his get back. He's in such a rush. He's in such a hot-headed mood to get it that he doesn't care that he's given Baron exactly what he wants, a title match on his terms. You build it, you set it up, you have it pay off at SummerSlam. That's another major difference between Paige coming back and Punk coming back and just the second they walk through the door getting a title shot and taking someone's title.
You're really passionate about people who suck.
All right, going on to the next match here, ladies and gentlemen.
If I really was, I would have defended BD Productions a lot more.
Hey, I like BD Productions.
I love you, Derek.
Trey.
I did like BD Productions. I like them. All right, getting into our next match here. What was the next match? I think it was the women's match, wasn't it?
No, I think it was the human money's on the pole match.
Was it money's on the pole match was the next one? So
yeah,
the AAA Mega Champion Dominic Mysterio versus Danhausen.
So two things about this match. One, this should not have been on the SummerSlam card. This should have been a Raw or SmackDown match. This was a waste of a SummerSlam.
It could have been a pre-show match or something.
Yeah,
pre-show match at most.
Pre-show would have been fine.
Most. This could have been pre-show because that match slot right there, you could have given that to the Undisputed Tag Team Champs to have a match. You could have given that to the World Tag Champs to have a match. You could have given that to the Women's Intercontinental Champion to have a match.
You could have
done a lot more with that.
They could have. I would rather probably seen like Braun Breaker or somebody in there.
Well, he's one half of the World Tag Champs.
Yeah.
He's one half of the World Tag Team Champions with Austin Theory.
Not really Austin Theory. I'd rather see Braun Breaker, but if we got to take.
Unfortunately, right now, they're a package deal. So if you want to see Braun, you got to deal with Theory.
And I really like Dominic. I think Dominic's great. But they just
Dominic
don't work together.
He got stuck in the storyline with Dom and the Judgment Day. Got stuck with Danhausen.
You know what would have been an even better use of this match slot? Dirty Dom is the AAA Mega Champion. Have this be a chance to showcase AAA. Have it be like some kind of like fatal four-way or multi-man match for the Mega Championship where Dom has to defend against a bunch of big names from AAA like the new El Grande Americano, Vikingo, Ray Phoenix, and a couple of other guys.
I'd like to see Danhausen. What's that lady boy's name in AAA? The one that does the backstage. What's her name?
I have no clue.
You know who I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Have her work for Danhausen.
Oh, heck. Mr. Iguana. Mr. Iguana and Danhausen.
Yes.
So you think Danhausen working AAA?
But the second thing about this match, that was actually a little fun fact that I actually saw earlier today while I was just scrolling Facebook and I saw some stuff for SummerSlam pop up. Guess who one of the Mini-Hausens was?
Who?
I'm sure.
Jay
Wolf.
No,
not Jay Wolf either.
Oh.
I know he fits the bill. He's about the right size, but no, I don't think he's back in the ring yet. But no, they alluded to it on commentary that one of them was Toledo, the little bull guy with the Los Matadores.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but they alluded to that one. But one of the other ones was the dwarf comedian Brad Williams.
Really?
Yeah. I just happened to scroll and I saw a post from Brad Williams and it was like a little mini vlog talking about how he was a Mini-Hausen at SummerSlam. And I was like, that's actually really cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Hey, did you see the one that took the choke slam from JD McDonough?
Oh my God, that poor guy.
When he body slammed one and then choke slammed the other one?
Well, hey, Brad was one of those two. So Brad Williams either ate the choke slam or the body slam.
Are you sure there was 5 of them?
No, there was only 3 out there, wasn't there?
No, I thought it was 3.
I thought there was
I only
5.
counted 3. They're all over the place. He cloned so many of them.
Yeah.
You never know. But anyway, like I said, I mean, we were all correct in the finish. It was well, I think me and you were Trey. I think Dirk, you said it was Dom.
I went for Dom.
Yeah, I
no,
said Danhausen, but I said there was gonna be some kind of shenanigans with Dom climbs up, and I was right. He said there and cursed him and
lightning.
fell down.
You are cursed.
The sparkler.
Yeah,
I think they got those sparklers from AEW from the Kenny
But you know what, though?
John Moxley match in AEW.
You know what, though? I just realized, though, because the whole reason you convinced me to switch, because originally I was in the same boat as Dirk, and I was also saying that I thought Dom was going to win, but you convinced me to switch my vote to Danhausen, partially because they wanted to protect the curse, right? Well, the only problem there, though, is they didn't fully do that over the weekend because Liv Morgan is still cursed, but she won her match and retained, even though she's cursed. So,
did he ever uncurse her? We never seen if he did or not.
No, he has not uncursed her.
No, not
he
that
has
I
not
know
uncursed
of.
anyone. The only people who have been uncursed have been the Knicks, and we already see how effective being uncursed by Danhausen is. You go on to win a world championship.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, if they were really going to protect the integrity of the curse, I feel like again just another. I mean, it's a dumber
This match
reason,
belonged on night 1.
It belonged on the pre-show or Friday Night SmackDown or Monday Night Raw. It did not belong on a pay-per-view match slot, in my opinion. I don't think it did.
No.
Like I said, that match could have been given to the World Tag Champs, Undisputed Tag Champs, Women's Intercontinental Title, something else that would have been a far better wrestling contest,
All right, going on to the next match. The next was the 5-woman's ladder match, in which we have Charlotte
Again, we
Flair,
were all wrong.
Charlotte, Jade Cargill, Tiffany Stratton, Chelsea Green, and Lash Legend.
Lash Legend. Yeah. No, Lash Legend was the mystery 5th person.
Yeah.
Was she the mystery 5th?
She
was the mystery. Yeah. So I was completely wrong in assuming it was going to be Naomi returning and all that.
We were wrong about this.
All three of us had picked somebody else. Well, you picked Tiffany, but you said Nia Jax. So at the time we recorded, we didn't have that 5th person yet.
But I'm happy we were wrong.
I was about to say, this is one I'm totally happy with being wrong about. I mean, Chelsea Green, people have been singing her praises for so long, especially when Michael Hayes went on Taker's podcast, or was it on Unreal?
No, that was on Unreal.
Yeah, it was on Unreal
yeah.
when he said that line that, Chelsea's not a main eventer. She's meant to make the main eventers. And people, rightfully, I feel, got hot with that because Chelsea's fantastic. It doesn't matter.
We were talking about it earlier.
She's one of those people, no matter what role she's given, she excels in it and makes it work. She's
the match
good.
She had with Britt Baker at the first AEW pay-per-view.
Yep.
It was fantastic. Absolutely.
Her match with Penta in Lucha Underground. Again.
Yeah, I like that match. That was a good match.
I don't like the fact that she's interim champion. I think she should just be the women's champion, right?
They should not be doing interim champions right now. If they wanted to do interim champions, they shouldn't have just waited till Rhea got hurt and then just decided, okay, we're going to do an interim champion now. And I'm just like, where's this coming from?
I can't see this right now setting up Chelsea Green and Rhea Ripley. I can't see that that's where this is going.
Well, that's if she's even, medically cleared anytime soon.
Yeah,
I'm about to say she might be injured long enough for Chelsea to just drop the title to someone else. Because unfortunately, I have there's this bad feeling in my gut that they're going to do to Chelsea exactly what they did to Sami Zayn. And by God, if they do Chelsea, they are going to piss so many people off.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure that's what they're going to do.
Like, I just feel like within the next week or two, they are going to make her defend the title against someone out of nowhere, like a Charlotte or whoever, and put the title on probably Charlotte or Jade. Rhea's going to come back and feud with one of them, win the title back. It just.
So Rhea, I was just looking up. She had a knee injury.
Yeah, it was a meniscus tear.
Yeah.
I remember I looked that up last week.
Oh,
It was a
yeah. I forgot. I was just trying to sit here and figure out. I was like, why was she out? But like, I can't see that being the match. Chelsea and Rhea.
No.
Not through any fault of Chelsea, because again, it's just the way WWE uses her.
Yeah.
Because the reaction she got when B-Fab and Mia Chim and B-Fab came out and stopped her the first time, and you thought, oh, okay, well, we thought we were going to get Chelsea and all that. And then they did the whole interaction. B-Fab and Mia Chim got taken out, and then Charlotte and Jay did their whole spot. And then when Chelsea, still hanging from the ladder, just pulled herself up out of nowhere. Tiffany's down outside the ring. Lash is down outside the ring. Jade and Charlotte just took each other out. Oh, my God, they're going to do it. Oh, my God, they're going to do it. No freaking. And then she grabs it, and you're just like, I wasn't even mad about being wrong about the outcome of that match.
What kind of shot did Chelsea take to become upside down on the ladder?
It was when B-Fab and Mia Chim came in and jumped everyone. Chelsea was like halfway up the ladder. They grabbed her and like pulled her down, but her feet were still inside the rungs of the ladder. So she was just hanging upside down.
Oh, so it wasn't nothing major that she didn't sell. She didn't sell a shot.
After she got jumped. Oh, yeah, they jumped her for a good minute, and she just dead hung, sold there like she was knocked out and just hanging by her feet. And then it was the whole spot where Charlotte took out Jade. She took out B-Fab and Mia Chin, and then Jade and Charlotte took each other. And then the whole time that took, then Chelsea got back up and sat back up and was able to climb to the top and get the title. But, okay, I was happy with that match.
And then I seen I guess a WWE video after when Chelsea Green was climbing up and had the championship celebrating. You seen Charlotte Flair there giving their applause, and Tiffany Stratton was over there doing her Chelsea Green pose and stuff like that when she was doing her stuff when she won the championship. So they were happy for Chelsea too. You know, I am too. She definitely deserved it.
Well, you know, we were being Joel talking earlier. Chelsea Green, her hat sold out, right?
Oh, her merch sold.
But you don't see them making 35 different things for in merch because they don't. I don't know what their reasoning is. Although I think it would sell, right?
I can tell you what their reasoning is. I can tell you what their reasoning is, and it's the same thing I told you earlier. It's because Chelsea got over on her own.
Yeah.
She was not a WWE creation. Triple H and none of the boys in the back can take credit for making Chelsea Green. So because they didn't make her, they can't take credit for it. The only person who can take credit for Chelsea Green getting over the way she has is Chelsea Green. But they don't like that. So what do they do?
That's the bigger reason I don't like Rhea. Because Rhea didn't look like she does now when she first came in. That was a whole package
looked like
deal.
Charlotte.
Yeah, she did.
She looked
She
like
was an Aussie Charlotte.
Yeah. I don't feel her gimmick now is organic. I feel like
I will
she's
say
a poser.
when she was doing the original version of the mommy gimmick, it felt a lot more natural because it just felt like she was, you know, it's kind of like when you're having fun with the boys and you crack jokes with one another. That felt more genuine. This newer,
that was with her and Dom, and that worked.
Because they even showed in backstage segments and stuff, and like other YouTube videos where they would go on other channels and stuff. You could see the legitimate like sibling and friendship that the OG members of the Judgment Day have. They got matching tattoos together. All of the original Judgment Day members have a matching tattoo together because that's how close they are. So when they were out there doing their thing, that was just them being the friends that they are, having fun with one another. This new version of Rhea's gimmick, it's not as believable because it's just like it's like you said, Dirk. It
It's
is less
just Rhea.
genuine. But the original version,
But Triple H should have probably came up with that idea.
exactly, and
He
because
probably came up with that.
and because that he can say that that's one of his people, he's more than happy to push Rhea Ripley to the moon. Same way he was with Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
When you and people
That's
like to
his
say that
China,
Triple H was,
brother.
but it's like one of those things. It's one
He's
of those
always
things.
been
Where,
into that.
yeah, but it's one of those things where some people always would like to praise the fact that Triple H is so different from Vince McMahon. But honestly, the past couple of years, I think have shown in a lot of ways Triple H is very similar to Vince McMahon. And I think the way he books Rhea over other women like Chelsea Green shows that, because the fact that Chelsea's hat sold out like that, imagine if they had way more Chelsea merch. I guarantee you they would have sold out. They would have made hella money, but because they're petty and they can't take credit for the reasoning behind Chelsea being as popular as she is, they will do what they can to funnel her out. But anyway, semi-main event.
Yeah, we're getting late here, so let's get to semi-main.
Yeah.
We got the Intercontinental Championship match, which I thought was absolutely fantastic match.
Stole the show.
Match of the night.
I could have watched this all night. I could have watched that all night.
The Intercontinental Champion at the time, Penta, went one-on-one against the new Intercontinental Champion, Chad Gable, man.
Which we were all right on that one.
Yeah.
But again, it is criminal. Someone should be arrested for the fact that this match only got 12 minutes bell to bell. This was, in terms of pure wrestling, this was match of the night. I could have sat back and watched this match for 90 minutes plus, not been bored a second of it.
I think it's criminal for Chad Gable to be in the Intercontinental match and not the world title, because Chad's proved time and time again, if you compared him earlier to Kurt Angle, he is every bit as good as Kurt Angle, not only in ring, but at charisma, being funny, and being able to do anything they give him. That's someone that can work with. He made Shorty G get over.
Oh yeah. And his whole shush thing, I mean,
yes.
Oh, that was a Baron Corbin thing, wasn't it? Shorty G. Oh, yeah. That's something
that was a Vince McMahon thing. That was a Vince McMahon thing.
Yeah, but Baron Corbin was the one that actually made it stick.
He was just the on-screen character doing it. We all know it came from Vince.
We're not getting back into that goof now. We're talking about tag.
The old goof in a lawsuit with Janelle Grant. We're not talking about that goof anymore. But anyway, again, this match, phenomenal. What else
both of them, man.
What else can we say? I mean, what else can we say? I mean, this was just
phenomenal.
It was just in terms of pure wrestling, just a perfect match. The perfect match, the perfect story going in, the perfect
Chad
ending.
Gable's been chasing this championship for so long, for so many years. He's been chasing this.
Yeah.
He really, he said the one title that he wanted to win was the Intercontinental Championship. And think about it, how long has Chad Gable been in WWE?
God, since 2016.
This is
so a decade now.
First singles championship.
Right.
And again, I don't mind the fact that it was the Intercontinental title he won, because I feel like guys like Chad Gable look at the Intercontinental title the way a lot of old school guys do. The way guys like, for example, the workhorse title. The way guys like Jericho looked at it. The way guys like Miz looked at it. The way that and those guys were some of the guys who went on to make the Intercontinental title one of the most prestigious titles, not just in WWE, but all of pro wrestling.
That was the Bret Hart title, the Shawn Michaels title.
Yeah, the Bret Hart, the Shawn Michaels, the Owen Harts.
Yeah.
And those are considered some of the
Mr. Perfect.
Mr. Perfect, exactly. And those are all considered some of the absolute greatest wrestlers of all time. And were multiple, many of them were multiple time world champions later. that's why I say I don't have a problem with Chad winning the Intercontinental title first, especially because he had that similar boyhood dream and envisioning of the Intercontinental title that a lot of those guys did. He finally got that payoff. He's got
I
it.
agree. He should have won it first, but he should have won it 5 years ago. Not
Oh,
taking
yeah,
away
yeah.
from him winning it now, but he's been good this entire time.
Yeah.
This entire
He just
time
hasn't
he's been good.
He just hasn't been given the opportunity really
No.
to show just how
No, he
good he
hasn't.
is. Because, and like I said, that's why El Grande Americano was a stroke of genius for him, because that was feel like it saved him, but it also really showed people, man, this guy can go. This guy can be entertaining, charismatic, funny, all at once. And it's like, now I want to see more of this guy. Even though he was the heel as the original El Grande Americano, he still got...
In Mexico, he was the heel. In the United States, he was the babyface.
Yeah.
It was different.
No, he was heel. He was heel when he started out and everything. He was still the heel. Because he was
when he
mocking.
came back, when he came back, he was the face here.
He was baby
and the reason
he was a heel there.
And the reason he came back a babyface here is because obviously we all knew it was Chad Gable. You know, no surprise there. But it was one of those things. To me, it was also a similar reason to why people cheered Roman Reigns when he left and eventually came back after losing the title at Mania. It's because people were complaining about him there was a portion that was complaining about Roman Reigns, you know, and the way he was working and wrestling leading up to Mania 40.
Mm-hmm.
But once he was gone and you realize the vacuum he left behind, people then realize, oh, wait, this is what we had. We didn't realize what we had until it's gone. Now we want it back, you know? And I feel like that was the same thing when Chad Gable got hurt and El Grande Americano had to go away and he was gone and you didn't have that on TV anymore. I feel like people felt in a similar vein to that, where it's like, man, I didn't realize I had what I had until it was gone. It was taken from me. Now I want Chad Gable to come back. I want El Grande Americano back.
But that match he had, the two El Grandes, that shows you, man, Chad Gable's a main event. Both of those guys. That was that main event match was better than either of the main event matches we got this weekend.
That on SummerSlam, baby.
Right. Oh, no, forget SummerSlam. Put that on Mania. Put that on Mania.
You could put that match on. You could have that match 4 times a year on the Big Four, and it would be a great match every time.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Anytime. But
it would be a different match and a great match every time if you had it 4 times a year in 1 year at all the Big Four pay-per-views. That would be absolutely fantastic match, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. But anyway, great match. Perfect ending. Can't say anything more about it. It was just amazing. My only complaint about that match, they should have been given at least double the time. 12 minutes was criminally short for that classic match.
They should have had that 30-minute spot.
They definitely
over Punk and
Cody for sure.
Yeah,
now I'm not going to say that for. I can't in good conscience say that for the next match, which was the main event of night 2.
Maybe
because
they should have had that as the main event, being Chad Gable's hometown, and that's how they would have left, with Chad Gable winning the championship at the end
But
of the
imagine if we could have had Brock Lesnar versus Chad Gable. Both hometown boys. Oh, man.
I mean, the match could still happen in the future because they've never said Brock's fully done. But anyway, the reason I can't fully justify saying that the Intercontinental title match tonight should have been the main event, simply because where Penta and Gable was a perfect match in terms of wrestling and just being the kind of match that the main event, Roman versus Seth, in a lot of similar ways was an equally good match, less so because of all the pure wrestling that happened. Not that it wasn't good wrestling, but more so because of the story. That whole match was all about the story and getting you invested, especially if you're one of those people who, you know, has been following and been watching, you know, guys like Roman and Seth ever since they showed up, because I think they've made it abundantly clear this is the last one-on-one match that we're going to get between Roman and Seth. I think that point has been very well and clearly established. So
it was a much better world title match than night one.
And that's
And
why they put this one on night
oh,
2,
man.
and it was the main event.
It did deserve night 2. Yeah, out of everything, it deserved night 2. Now, I got to give a shout out to him dressing like Buzz Lightyear. Is that who he was supposed to be? Is that what stuff was this year?
So actually, I don't know if you've seen the interview, but Seth actually talks about part of the reason why he said that part of the reason why he wears so many different like obnoxious outfits and robes and stuff is because he got inspiration from Machine Gun Kelly, because Machine Gun Kelly would also wear outfits that were just so outlandish and audacious that it would turn heads, but the other part of Seth's gear was actually a white version of the Shield gear. He came out with a white version of his Shield mask underneath his jacket, and then the mask he had, and this was another great thing about this match, even though it was only Seth and Roman in the match physically,
it stood for Dean, right?
Because that was Ambrose's mask. John Moxley's. And not only the mask, but obviously people who remember Dean Ambrose obviously caught on immediately, especially because I'm surprised that they were allowed to say it on commentary. But at one point, Seth hit the old rebound lariat that Dean Ambrose used to do, where he'd like take a shot, stagger back, fall through the ropes, come back, and wham, lay out with a lariat. Seth did that and even did like an old school Dean Ambrose style taunt. Michael Cole just outright dropped his name. I'm like, oh, okay, they're allowed to say his name, I guess, for this, And then obviously Roman come back and hit him with dirty deeds for a falsie. I mean, that was their way of incorporating and throwing in their third Shield brother, because that was them saying, hey, look, it may just be me and Seth here right now, but never forget there was 3 of us.
Yeah.
It was 3 of us together. And I really appreciated that as well. But again, Trey and I were on point with this one because, like I said, if this is what I believe to be the final match between Roman and Seth, it only made all the sense in the world for, Seth to give the pin back after having worked Roman with so many years and beating him every time, because that was the story between Roman and Seth, was that Seth always had Roman's number.
I enjoy Roman. Everything Roman's done since COVID, since the big dog character, I really like Roman's work. But when's the next time Roman's going to be on TV? That was my only drawback to it. If you want to talk about a guy that's not once every 3 weeks, Roman shows up.
Well, 2 things. One, as I said before, the world champ doesn't need to be there all that often. He needs to be a rarely seen special attraction. And also, again, Trey, you even mentioned the stats last time we were talking about Roman, about how in the 48 or so months he was champion. I think it was 48 months, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Out of 48 months.
1,300 days, he had 30 title matches.
So that was roughly averaged out. That's about 48 months. And he had 33 title matches. It's not quite 1-to-1, like one match every month, but it's still about 1.5 months per title defense, And that doesn't even count his appearances and promos on SmackDown and Raw, And I feel that's the way, maybe a little bit more frequently than that, but I still feel that's the way you should book a world champion. It should be a marquee moment just to even see and hear from the champ, because the whole point is they hold the biggest prize in the company. Therefore, everyone should be, and like I said, that was the way it was booked that whole time. Everybody was clamoring over each other just to get to Roman. And when they finally got to Roman, it was always a great match, but almost every single time, Roman came out on top until finally WrestleMania 40, perfect story, perfect ending. And it meant that much for when Cody won.
Kevin Owens should have beat him.
I feel.
Yes. Yes. I agree.
Kevin Owens should have beat Roman Reigns in that 4-year run.
Yeah, he should have.
There's
I
a
know that
couple
match
people
you're talking about. Yeah,
that should have beat
Bray Wyatt should have beat
Bray
him.
Wyatt should have beat him. Kevin Owens should have beat him. Jey Usos probably should have beat him.
Sami Zayn should have beat him. If Sami
that's the
Zayn
whole
would have
point.
beat Roman, that would have been one of those moments people talked about for the next 30 years.
Well, there was two main problems with that. One, I mean, I feel like that's the whole point
We
of a
had to
good
wait for
champion
Cody,
is to
right?
show that at any point anyone else could have potentially won, and that it goes to show again Roman was still putting people over even though they were losing, but also it got to such a level to the point that Roman was so big and he had held on to the title for so long. There was only one place he could drop it, and that was WrestleMania. If he dropped it anywhere else,
I think that it would have been better if he would have dropped it that first year of Cody. The first time. Instead of saying, oh, no, fuck you, we're going to go and draw it out another year. Because I think by that time, Cody had run his course. I was already tired of Cody by the time Cody actually won the title.
Are you guys lagging on y'all's end? Y'all are lagging on my end.
No. Everything's been running good.
It might be me. But anyway, like I said, could be. But anyway, like I said, the main event storyline wise, I mean, it was the perfect ending to a long-standing feud, and I mean, now I guess it's like, well, what's next for Roman? Because now he's got an open slate coming out of SummerSlam. He's done with Seth, and what's next for Seth? He's obviously not in the world title picture anymore.
Who is there? Who is on Raw that's gonna move up to this spot?
LA Knight, probably, if I had to guess.
I think Solo.
Maybe Solo.
But I mean, probably LA Knight. I would have to say I don't see anybody else being able to challenge him. He's like he's been chasing Roman for a while.
Yeah.
And now they got the win against the Bloodline, so it's like, hey, and he got the pinfall against the Bloodline, so why not LA Knight be the next person in line?
I think they really hurt Raw moving everyone over to SmackDown. Yeah, they could have moved those guys like Punk and Cody and everyone over to SmackDown, but we need someone on Raw that.
But the next question, so not just that, what do they do with Oba now? Now that he's beat Brock Lesnar.
Because I think we can all agree, we were talking about it earlier.
They already teased something, actually. There's already been something teased. I don't know if you follow on Twitter, but Bronson Reed took a shot at Oba.
Yeah.
So it looks like they might be teasing. Huh?
Is he coming back soon?
I think so. I mean, why else would he be potentially taking a shot like that?
Yeah.
I think I think we're about to see Bronson Reed and Oba, which that should be entertaining.
Yeah.
A couple more big meaty men slapping
that's
meat.
Not putting anyone with Roman.
But who you see?
We already said LA Knight with Roman.
But I don't see that lasting until damn Rumble. You're gonna have to have someone that can.
Well,
Logan Paul, man, I'd love to see Logan Paul.
You know what you could do?
Yeah, he's
run the course. Run the course with Roman versus LA Knight. Finish that out. It'll probably end at the perfect time. What have you got on Raw? You got two factions. You got the Vision. You got the Bloodline. There's your War Games match.
Yeah.
Bloodline versus Vision.
Yeah. I am a Logan Paul fan.
Logan Paul should be coming back soon.
I'm one of those people.
I've had the same injury that he's had. I've had the same surgery, exact elbow surgery.
I'm one of those people. I'm split down the middle when it comes to Logan Paul Because I'll admit, as a worker, he has definitely caught on to this business quick, and he's very good at it. But then there's the side of me that knows how big of a piece of crap human being he is,
100%,
and
100%.
would not, and quite frankly, would not piss on him if he was on fire.
Makes it easy to hate him, though, doesn't it?
It does. It does. And again, that's one of those things where I can
him.
give him credit. It's easy to hate him because of how much of a piece of crap he is in real life that we all know about, you know. So he's just one of those guys I'm split on for that reason. But anyway, night 2 of SummerSlam. What are we rating night 2?
Well, night 2 is much better than night 1.
Yeah, I'll give it a 6.5.
I was gonna say 6.5. Yeah,
I
agree with that.
I'll be a little more generous because honestly, the only match that I feel held down night 2 was the Danhausen Dom match. I feel like everything else was really, really good for night 2.
I think what held
I'll
it
give it
down the most was people not having the time.
Yeah,
that
too.
In a 3
But
hour
overall,
show,
I would give
an hour.
I would give
wrestling.
night 2. I would give night 2 a 7.5 out of 10. I'm 1 point higher than y'all. I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10.
But before we go, Joel, so on night 1, you had Gunther, Obafemi, CM Punk. Night 2,
3 matches,
you had Danhausen, Chad Gable, Roman Reigns. So out of 12 matches, you went 50%. You went 6 for 12, 3 and 3 each night.
That's good.
Dang. That's a better percentage than I thought I had.
So
I thought I did worse.
So Dirk on night 1, you had Liv Morgan, Obafemi, and CM Punk. And on night 2, you had Chad Gable and Seth Rollins. No, it's the only Chad Gable.
Yeah. Only Chad.
Oof.
Yeah, so only Chad Gable was the only one that Dirk got right on night 2. So Dirk had 4 points on there for SummerSlam night 1, night 2, and myself, I had Gunther with the win. I had Fatal Influence with the win, and with the Bella's Beige turn.
Yeah, that counted as 2 points because you got the whole thing.
I had Obafemi and CM Punk for night 1. So night 1, I had 5 points.
Dang, man, you went on a roll night 1.
Night 2, I had Danhausen, Chad Gable, and Roman Reigns. So I had 3 points for night 2. So I got 8 points for. I had 7 out of 12, 8 points for. I guess I took SummerSlam.
Yep.
Yeah, you won the predictions war for SummerSlam there, buddy.
so the next pay-per-view comes up, I'm gonna be defending the championship, the predictions championship.
We got to get a custom belt made that says predictions champion, and then whoever wins after every major pay-per-view,
I'm all for that.
They get to have the title in their background or something.
There it is. We can make something happen. But yeah, so that was actually fun, man. I enjoyed SummerSlam. Night 2 was definitely better than night 1.
But that's always been the running thing with
predictions, because you never know what's going to happen. A bunch of stuff happened that we didn't predict.
Yeah,
and that we'd ever seen happen, like Gunther and Kevin Owens joining in that number 1 contenders match. I knew Kevin Owens should have been coming back sometime soon. I didn't see it at SummerSlam, but it was a great surprise. I love seeing it. What do you guys think? What was your highlights real quick of SummerSlam before we get out of here?
Highlights for me, honestly, the Brock endorsement of Oba, simply because you don't see Brock do that ever. So that definitely meant something. And then just the 2 matches on night 2, Penta and Gable and Roman and Seth. I mean, that's wrestling, people. From 2 different sides of the spectrum, that is wrestling.
I think my highlights are Chelsea Green getting her just due.
I popped huge for that.
Shout out Chelsea.
Yeah, Chad Gay. Kevin Owens coming back, man, after having a neck injury like that, going beyond just wrestling, saying, hey, he got to come back. That's a big thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm looking forward, like I said, I'm looking forward now to Kevin Owens versus CM Punk, because I know there's some real life heat there and it's going to make it more believable. I'm
As long as
also
Punk can learn how to
looking
sell.
forward to if they can do something with Cody and Randy, like do what they should have done that first run they did, right? So I think they can do really good together. I think that's going to be, as long as they leave Travis Scott out of it and whatnot, right?
Well, that was John Cena.
Oh
That
yeah,
was
that
John
was Cena. Well,
It was Jelly Roll and Pat McAfee.
Right,
it was Jelly Roll and
right.
Pat McAfee that interfered and caused Celebmania with Randy and Cody.
Yeah, leave those dudes out and just let Cody and Randy do their
Just
thing.
leave celebrities out of major wrestling storylines altogether.
Yeah,
it's okay to have them in a storyline that's like a mid-card level thing or just meant to be a comedy act thing. Like what Sammy did with the what was the match that he had with those freaking guys on that show? Anyway, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Don't put them in the middle of the world title picture. Keep that stuff to comedy mid-card stuff. Don't
keep them in the crowd and just put the camera on and let them wave.
Hi, look, it's Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for buying a ticket.
Let's talk about one more thing before we go. We're talking about something that happened on Friday Night SmackDown. I'm very, very excited for this. Very excited. We had somebody make their way back to the WWE who hasn't been here in a very, very long time. We had Tama Tonga and Tala Tonga come out, and their father, Haku,
oh yeah,
who managed them, are back in the WWE.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that real quick before we get out of here, man? That was like something I was like, that's like the greatest thing that could happen for Tala and Tama Tonga.
I say this. I think it's probably, knowing WWE and how much they lean on the Anoa'i family, I feel like they're just going to end up tying it all into the bloodline probably and have it be a reveal that, it was Roman Reigns' master plan all along to bring in one of the elders to oversee the bloodline of SmackDown while he oversees the bloodline of Raw, but they all answer to him as the tribal chief. That's going to be my guess.
But they're Tongan. They're not Samoan.
Yeah, they're Tongan. And he's like one of the most legit people to ever be in professional wrestling.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
But
I've heard so many stories.
Oh yeah, but the look he came out with, wearing all the all black and that big ass staff that he had that's just as tall as he is. Like that.
It probably helps also. It probably helps also that they got rid of Bachaloa.
Yeah.
That because that guy was doing nothing for them.
I think that's going to be such a good thing for those two guys to have Haku there.
So do you think then that's what Solo's going to do when he goes back? Because he's a SmackDown guy, right? So does that mean that he's gonna go back to SmackDown and have to try to confront Haku and the remainder of the MFTs? Or
I'd put him with Balor. I'd do something with Balor and tie into the whole
have him and Balor feud with the Tongans.
That could work.
And maybe have the Tongans come out on top. Have them come out on top and actually beat Solo and Balor, because Solo and Balor aren't a tag team. They're just two guys thrown together.
They had them. They came out and beat down War Raiders, who's the AAA tag team champions, and Damian Priest and R-Truth,
who are the WWE tag team champions.
Yeah.
So they came out and beat down both of those champs and held both of those titles up. So that moves them right there into the title picture. I can't see them having Haku, them not getting the championships now.
Yeah, I could definitely see them bare minimum getting the WWE tag team championships from Damian and R-Truth. Not that Damian and R-Truth aren't great. It's just that, like we said a month or so ago when we were talking about things wrong with WWE right now, there's hardly no tag teams on the SmackDown brand right now. So there's been no teams for Damian and R-Truth to fix it. But now you got the Tongans. If they start bringing the War Raiders around more often, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, technically they're a Raw team, but again, they don't enforce the brand split anyway. So the Usos probably might show up. Yeah, so the Usos we can throw into that list potentially.
So now I could see the Tongans versus the Bloodlines.
Yeah.
Only problem is Tongans are outnumbered because on the Anoa'i side, you got Roman, you got the Usos, you got Jacob.
Well, probably just be the Usos.
Just stick Haku in there.
Yeah.
Haku would take out the whole bloodline by himself.
Even in his old age.
Yeah.
Even in his old age.
Yes. He don't even need the stick. He don't even need the stick. Like, he go in there and just take them all out by himself, bare hands.
Yeah, bare hands.
He probably could.
But my opinion, it's going to be absolutely great. I can't wait to see what they do with those guys, especially with Haku coming back, man. Because he's one that I watched when I was growing up.
Yeah.
And then I've worked with him once. He didn't work on the show, but he was at the show that I worked on, like doing an appearance and stuff like that. Very, very nice. Very, very nice man. And
he was on the first show I ever went to as a kid. It's back when he was in the Dungeon of Doom. It was the WCW show.
Yeah.
And seeing them, him and Ming together, dude, they were scary. Well, I was like a 8-year-old kid, and they scared the shit out of me or whatever. Like,
Do you believe him and the Barbarian were like that? You knew when they walked out, those are two bad MFers, and they are going to sit there and F somebody up real quick.
Faces of fear, man.
Yeah.
Well, so, on that note, though, I think that'll
about versus
wrap.
The American Males, by the way. That was the first show I ever went to.
I think that'll wrap up this episode of the Carolina Wrestling Podcast. We hope you enjoyed all our wacky predictions and our hot seat moments. Be sure to check out Future X August 8th here in North Carolina in Burlington. August 21st. Be sure August 21st. Come check out. We're going to see the end of a legend here in the in-ring wrestling scene. Indie icon Trey G hanging up his boots one last time. August 22nd, come down to Fort Bragg. Check out Next Level Pro Wrestling. 150 tickets available on nextlevelprowrestling.com. Again, you'll get emailed a visitor's pass when you purchase a ticket. You'll be able to come on base, check everything out. But it's going to be a busy...
August 14th, Wrestling with Purpose in Rockingham, North Carolina as well. So make sure you go check us out over there too.
Yeah, so we got a lot of indie wrestling coming up for us here in North Carolina. And, of course, a lot of other stuff. Dirk, you and I still got to do that whole women's debate thing that we've been talking about. I hear there's some hot stuff going on Dark Side of the Ring we might want to look into, maybe check out.
Big Boss Man episode was this week.
Yep.
Yeah, it was good.
And, of course, there's who knows what else is going to go on in WWE, AEW, New Japan, anywhere else. But be sure to check out Carolina Wrestling Podcast. Like, follow, subscribe so you never miss an episode. And we will see you guys later.
It's the Carolina Wrestling Podcast. Carolina Wrestling Podcast. Carolina Wrestling Podcast. Carolina Wrestling Podcast.